I'm actually fucking tripping right now, man. Even just talking about it, reliving the fucking experience.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes and I had like, I have visuals right now. You know, like fucking
Crazy.
Welcome everybody at the Love Liberation podcast. My name is Max.
And I'm Felicia.
And today we're gonna try to tell like a comprehensive story, but could also be that we like get so distracted and just cut out a different subject. So at first we want to talk about our experience at Agape Zoe. Yesterday we went through a little bit of another awakening of sorts, that we both could let go of fear, and that was still holding us back. And this moment, it was all in the making throughout the festival, and we feel like we might be valuable to share a little bit of our story and where we're going, and just some context on why we are suddenly posting on Instagram. So yeah, that's about it. So if you think about the feeling that you got when you were arriving in Arillas, the place of the festival, what did you feel?
Beautiful. It just felt so serene, and there was this calm energy because we were arriving in the early morning. We had traveled the entire day and night.
Yeah, zero sleep.
So we were arriving when just a few people were awake.
Yeah.
And we could already see some people just swimming in the ocean and meditating and jogging, and the sun was slowly rising, and it was just beautiful. And we just knew we were at the right place.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were sitting there just eating our breakfast and just feeling like, oh, damn, we just came from a very busy place, very busy schedule just before the holidays. I needed to work really, really hard to just get everything finished. And then you're there and it's like such a fucking culture shock.
Yeah, for you especially.
Yeah, man.
You were grinding before.
Yeah.
Like for months.
Yeah.
And you also noticed that when we arrived. You felt so dissociated and you were having a hard time. Could you maybe tell a little bit about that?
Well, I made the post about that on Instagram, but basically I just felt like I was just dissociated from all the hard work and stress that I put on myself. And when I was in a new environment, this really didn't jive with each other, and I was just like there sitting at the pool, and I was like, oh, damn, I can't really feel like the gratitude and niceness that was there in the moment, and I just couldn't reach it. And basically I just sat down and I meditated, and I something got through, or I had an insight that I was just having a bad attitude. But definitely I also was dissociated, but just by not having this tense energy, just consciously relaxing this, I just came to myself again and got to enjoy the joy that comes out of swimming in the pool and turning on your head, like, and just playing.
Yeah.
And I just needed to surrender once again. It's like surrender, and then you will find love. And that's true.
Yeah. And it was beautifully timed because it happened like 1 or 2 days before we actually went to the festival.
Yeah.
which you were also kind of nervous about.
Yeah.
You weren't sure if you would fit in.
Yeah.
And we arrived one day early because we were volunteers, and we thought that we had the gathering suddenly a day before because of a message Mina sent.
Yeah.
But so we came too soon, and everyone still needed to arrive, and everything still needed to be built and set up. What was your first impression when you walked in there?
Well, something came up. Like when I walked in there, I was just greeted by so many kind eyes. And like my nervousness of not fitting in just immediately fell away. I still had the feeling that I needed to pretend something to perform. Yeah, like Echo's so beautifully said. And many others. Many others. And yeah, so I was not nervous anymore that I wouldn't fit in. What did you feel?
Yeah, I kind of had the same experience. Because I already kind of recognized the energy from
Rhythmia.
From Rhythmia, yeah. So for me, it just kind of felt like coming home. And just knowing that we were at the right place. And just so much love. And yeah. Also when the artists were already kind of just preparing and making a little music, and with the scenery, we were looking out on the ocean, and it was just beautiful. And I saw the statue of Ganesha right there. Yeah. And it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And why I mentioned Ganesha, maybe it's fun to go into that a little.
Yeah.
Is a couple of months ago during a psychedelic experience, I came in contact with the spirit Ganesha, and I just felt his great, divine, powerful energy. And it was so much that I just felt a little scared as well. And he just, right after we met, and I saw all these mudras around a light and just trippy, crazy things. Right after that, Spirit came through, and Spirit said, there's an unstoppable force going on. All you can do is prepare right now. And I didn't know what Spirit was talking about. I just felt that it was truth. And with the festival, I already saw the statue of Ganesha, which for me was another sign that this was a festival I needed to go to, and that everything would fall in place, and that this was the moment that Spirit talked about, with seeing Ganesha, meeting him, and just talking about the unstoppable force. So when I saw the statue in real life, and I felt the energy, and I saw the scenery, I just knew it was the right thing. It's going to
be the beginning of a new chapter.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's also very interesting, because we went on a little human design tour on the festival, and we had it all started with like the human design workshop, because on the festival it's not just like a regular festival, it's a transformative festival. So there's a lot of meditation, breathing, and ecstatic dance, a different form of dance where you just flow into the music. And there were also workshops, like I said, and there was a human design workshop, and it was really interesting to get thrown back into that. And with so many people that knows so much about human design and other like spiritual modalities, it was really nice to just dive in deep, because it was like so easy with people knowing about it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what we found? I mentioned cycles, so maybe start with that.
Yeah. So with human design, we still need to go like really in depth, but we kind of have an idea now. Yeah. With human design, you have like if you look it up, you have different energy centers, and those energy centers can be defined or open.
Yeah.
And if it's defined, it means that you have that energy within yourself. And if it's open, that means that you need to get it from your environment or other people,
Yeah.
which is also environment. But you don't have that kind of energy already within you. You take it from your surroundings.
Yeah.
And you also have little channels that can go from one energy center to the other.
Yes.
And those channels kind of are your gifts.
Yeah.
Kind of the reason why you are here. Something that you're gifted with in this life.
Yeah.
And for me, one of those lines is that I live in cycles.
Yeah.
And those cycles just keep on going about 7 years, just the cycle of nature, where I just need to experience life and learn from that experience, gain wisdom from that experience by experiencing it fully with my full presence. And if I don't do that, then the cycle repeats.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all about just experiencing everything with full presence and full love and gratitude.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. So basically what we found is that you are like defined through the center.
Yeah.
And like, so you have very clear what you want, like with your head. You have a throat that is defined. So you have your own energy, your own things and expressions that want to be expressed through you, from you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and like these channels are all defined all the way down, but we are not experts, so we can't really tell you fully what it all means. But basically, you are defined, and I am like open with my throat, with my third eye, and with my crown center, which basically means that Felicia has internal wisdom that comes out, and I am like trying different perspectives on. And this is so interesting because I always did that. I always like when someone talks about something to me, I just assume that it's true and then just let it work on me through a conceptual image that I make with my mind. So my head is defined by other people, and that's so curious that like in my human design it's like spot on. Like human design, like for us and for the people around us that we checked, are so hyper spot on. It's so crazy. And it's just based around like ancient texts, astrology, and I was so fucking skeptic about astrology, but oh man, it's so spot on that I just can't deny it. It's so weird.
Yeah, and it also explains so much for you, for me, for the people around us. Like there are certain explanations with if you look it all up, where you just, for me, it just felt like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Now I understand it.
It's so crazy.
And because you have that information, you can actually start to work with it.
Yeah.
And just like, it just makes so much sense. And we just got so much out of it. And we've already started working with it. Because we also, like our authority, the way that we move through life the best and in our highest alignment, is through responding and through our sacral.
Yeah.
Which means that our minds can be in the past and in the present, in the future, but our body can only be in the here and now.
Yeah.
So for us, we need to have someone ask a question, or we have to have it right in front of us for us to respond to it.
Yeah.
And that usually goes with a or
Mm-hmm.
So there are different kind of responses your body can give you for a certain thing. And
Yeah.
through that, we can make our decisions. If our sacral responds with,
Yeah.
then yes, do it. If it responds with, then don't do it.
Yeah.
So that really got us into a whole journey, and we started to dive really deep.
Yeah. For me, human design was also like, I was always so skeptical about these things. And for me, it really was just like the mental permission to believe in something like astrology and like ancient texts and like this wisdom that really is super difficult to prove. I gave myself with human design, because it was so fucking spot on, permission to just consider it as a possibility. And
also maybe the people and the energy at the festival.
Yeah.
Because you already were surrounded with so many people who believed in that, or for them know it to be true.
And me being an open center.
Exactly.
Like,
you picked up on that energy.
Yeah.
So I feel like also just being there gave you permission to like,
just try it on.
out.
Try it on, you know?
Exactly.
Try out different perspectives. I mean, if there's our fucking like 100 people that are like with human design, like, oh my god, it's so nice. And you know, like they really believe in it. You'll just experience and you try that. Yeah, you try it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one way that the festival has really helped us and transformed us.
Yeah.
Because I also feel between us, like there has been an energy shift where I also feel more permission from you to be more spiritual and let my feminine in that way out, because you gave yourself that kind of permission now.
Yeah.
And the festival, everyone there gave themselves that permission.
Yeah.
So for us, I feel like it has also changed just our dynamics and how open we can explore these realms and things.
It was really nice to dance.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking blocked myself from dancing and expressing myself that way. And there was like this ecstatic dance, like everybody's going crazy.
The first night for you was so beautiful to see.
Yeah.
You were so, like, he was so present. He got high on his own supply.
Yes.
Like, he literally told me that.
Oh my god, yeah. So high.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And everything is like drug and alcohol and substance free.
Yeah.
So everybody's just vibing on their own endorphins, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I just remember you just jamming out to the music, like, oh.
Yeah. Like really like going in there, like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, with my face, like, you know,
Yeah. It was beautiful to see.
it's really, just really like feeling the music.
Yeah.
And like fully enjoying it. Like when you hear a nice beat, you know, you always have like the bass face, you know, like, oh yeah. That's like a little moment in normal music where you're like really in the music, and then just imagine like that with a whole song like for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
That's basically what ecstatic dance is. It's like, oh, you have that bass drop and you feel the music, and then that feeling just doesn't go away.
If you're tuned in, if you're able to be present.
Yeah.
Because that's like, it's still, the music is still just music.
Yeah.
And you have to allow yourself to go that deep.
Yeah.
So if you are really present, then you can get so high on your own supply and you can release stuff and just cry or just celebrate life. And like, I've celebrated life to the fullest at some points where where everyone there was just dancing and just having a great time. And so you can really dive deep into your emotions through music and through dance.
Fucking Netanel, man.
Yeah, Netanel.
Fucking Netanel. Oh my god.
His music is medicine. That's the, like, I can't even put into words the experience I had with him.
Yeah. Like live. Oh my god. Like,
yeah.
I was just fucking crying, man, for like an hour straight, you know, and I was just, oh
Yeah.
man, I had this moment with him. Like, he eventually called us to the front of the station. I was just listening, and I was fucking crying, like, because it's so beautiful. And then I looked into his eyes, and we really connected. Like, we saw the love in each other, and he did, like, in a microphone.
Mm.
And it was such a beautiful moment.
Mm.
And afterwards, I went to him and he said, "Thank you for letting yourself go that deep. Thanks for letting yourself."
Yeah.
I said, "Thank you, Netanel. It was so nice." I said, "Thank yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Allowing.
and letting
Mm.
yourself go that deep."
Yeah. Because it's all about that.
Yeah,
It's all about how deeply you allow yourself to go.
yeah. And these tears
Mm.
were all from gratefulness.
Yeah.
Like, he connected through his music. I connected back through to love, and I fucking disconnected myself for so long, and then it came back. And just also, when you're on psychedelics, it's the same feeling. You just get reconnected with love, and you just burst out into tears because it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of worked my way to that point through his music,
Yeah,
because he also, like, it's just medicine.
it's just medicine.
And it's kind of in a ceremony style.
I think it's
style.
a medicine.
It's a medicine.
Short interjection here.
Is this a medicine? Cannabis has been a medicine for 3,000 years. It only hasn't been a medicine in this country for 70 years. I think it's a medicine.
Go through.
A little inside joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, he brought me on a journey, because at when you first sit down, you kind of get bored. Like, the first seconds, you just think like, do I want to be here? I don't know. And if you're like, just sit yourself down for like 1 minute, and you just get present, then you think, I don't want to leave. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah. And I had that twice. And the second time I really just sat down and let myself go there. And it was just beautiful. And at that point, he started to call in the ancestors. And he kind of worked in meditation in it, where he said to close your eyes and to open your hands and to imagine your dad holding your hand on the right side and your mom holding your hand on the left side. I just connected with my parents and with my grandpa, with my grandma. And I just felt the guilt and the shame and the pain. I felt it in my root and my sacral. And he also really encouraged us to sing along and to use our voice as a tool to scream or to just let the vibrations heal ourselves. And in that moment, I was able to truly connect with that. And I was able to, like, I felt just all that guilt and anger and resentment and pain just moving up through the chakras and out through my voice, through the vibrations. And I just started crying because I never experienced something so clearly like that before. And yeah, he just
set
helped
something
me.
free.
Yeah, he just helped me release it.
Yeah.
And after that, I also started to connect with the realization that for me, I have already done so much work on myself, and I've healed so many pains and traumas and experiences that I don't really have a lot for myself anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's time to really work with the collective trauma and the ancestral trauma. And that's what I connected with during the ceremony with him.
Yeah, you felt like it was a lot.
Yeah, I felt the weight of it. And I felt like, or I thought I needed to do it alone. And it felt so heavy and as so much. But then he helped me remember, as I thought, like, I I can't do this. I'm not strong enough for that.
Yeah.
I'm not powerful enough for that. Right as I had that thought, he sang something in like, you are so powerful.
Yeah.
So it was such a synchronicity again. And I just was able to breathe it out and let it go. And through that, I started to move into gratitude and into love.
Yeah, and also like the people, right? You recognize that we were all doing that.
Yeah.
You recognize that on this festival is just a fucking vortex of people going deep, healing through this collective stuff. And he's like doing a tour all over the world, right?
Yeah.
And he's just creating these little pockets of people that are just working through it all and just shifting the vibration of the energy with it.
Yeah, and I could feel that in the room, like you said. That really, like, I needed that. I needed the community and so many people at one place, because he also literally was bringing people to the ancestral trauma, to the ancestral things, and you could hear people cry. And because it was with so many people, I was able to realize, like, oh, wait, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it all alone.
Yeah.
I have so many people.
Yeah.
And that also brought me back to a moment with Ilse, a friend of mine, during a psychedelic experience where I was also working through the ancestral and collective trauma. And she mentioned, like, it's not just you. There are so many people doing it. And I just got proof in that moment that that was actually true. There were so many people doing it.
All around the world as well.
All around the world, yeah.
They're going through this shit.
Yeah.
Right now.
Exactly, right now.
Right now.
Yeah. And that's also later when he called us to the stage. I had a moment where I just looked around and I just took everyone's face in. Yeah. Everyone sitting there and just realized, like, oh, this is community. Yeah. This is love. This is why, like, also that this is why the community came into my life right now. Because now I am starting to work through stuff that I'm not able to do just on my own, because it's collective, it's ancestral, it's a lot. Yeah. So I need community. I need to know that there are other people doing the same thing, carrying the same weight, and moving through the same things. And that's exactly what it gave me. Yeah.
Fucking Netanel.
Thank you, Netanel.
He's such a wizard.
Yeah. He's incredible.
I'm actually fucking tripping right now, man. Even just talking about it, reliving the fucking experience. Yeah. I closed my eyes and I had like, I have visuals right now. You know, like fucking.
Crazy.
Oh man.
He's amazing.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And afterwards he also said, like, no talking, no clapping. We couldn't clap.
Please don't clap.
Yeah. Please don't clap. It was just sending love. That was the only thing.
That's his purpose. That's what he does.
Exactly. And at the end he said to not talk and to give at least 8 or 12. I don't remember the exact number. Yeah. But at least 8 or 12 people a hug.
Yeah.
A true hug.
True hug. To share this.
To share this moment, to share this love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was beautiful. You can't even put it into words.
No. It's just got to go to one of his performances.
Yeah. So that was an amazing start of the week.
Yeah. Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
From that moment on, I at least also like truly realized what a transformative festival actually meant.
Yeah, man. After the performance of Netanel, I was just like, oh my God, this is the first day.
We have so many days to go.
Yeah.
How are we going to handle this?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the whole week was great.
Yeah. Another moment for me that really stands out from that week was the women's circle. Because you had, like, as you mentioned, in the day you had all these workshops, and at night you had the dancing and the concerts. And at one point during the day, you had a men's circle and a women's circle at the same time. And with the women's circle, we kind of sat in circles. Circle,
in a big
women's circle.
Big
And
circle?
a huge circle.
Huge
because
circle.
there are so many women. And in the middle, there would be a few women from that circle that felt called to embody a certain archetype.
Yeah.
And the facilitator would put on music that really gave the energy of that archetype. And if you felt called, you kind of would be the oracle, while all the other women in the circle would look at you and really be aware of themselves and the things that would come up for them and the things that would feel triggering to them. And from that, you would learn and integrate. And for me, that felt really scary at first. Like there were hundreds, if not hundreds, of women just thinking of the idea that I would stand in the middle with all these women looking at me, just looking at how I dance.
Like a true Leo.
Like a true Leo. Yeah, but it felt really scary to me because it feels really vulnerable, and I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never felt truly okay and safe for someone else to observe me watching with full presence or dancing with full presence.
Yeah.
So it felt really scary. And then she said that it started with the energy of Kali. And Kali is a goddess in Hinduism, I think. Hinduism. And she stands for destruction, the goddess of destruction. And she's so powerful. And it started with that. And it also has like a really dark and raw energy. And then one of the women came up and she's like, oh, I feel cold. God damn it. she walked to the circle and started laying there. And it immediately was so intense.
Damn.
And I felt the calling too. But I was so scared still.
Yeah.
And my heart started beating and starting faster and faster and faster.
God damn it.
Yeah, and I was fighting it. And it's like, oh, is this really needed right now?
Yeah.
And then I tuned in with the feeling like, if I don't do this right now, does it feel like love or does it feel like fear?
Yeah.
And it was clearly fear. So I knew that I needed to go in. So I stepped in the circle and I started dancing and I went on the ground and I just started screaming and just pounding the ground and just
embodying destruction.
Yeah. And my whole body just started to shake and I started to cry, and at the end, when the song ended, I just laid my head on the ground and just cried for a moment. And it just brought up so much fear and emotions, and I don't even really know yet what it exactly did, but it awakened something at me. It liberated something, because all throughout the women's circle, I just danced almost every time. I felt called almost every time. And yeah, I
think it's just you not feeling bad about expressing yourself, right? You had so many walls.
Just owning it.
Just true expression and being seen.
Yeah.
I think the universe told you like that's okay, and that's like actually so good for everybody.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
because afterwards I also got a few women telling me how much they loved to see me dance and how much it meant to them. Yeah. So it definitely had an impact.
Yeah.
But yeah.
True expression is good for everyone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But for me, it felt so scary.
Yeah.
And at some point, I started enjoying it because I started to get comfortable with it, you know. But yeah, it was definitely out of my comfort zone. And I definitely liberated myself there.
Yeah. It's all about the patterns, right? Like you've had a life where true expression, it wasn't for the longest time. You didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the expression, that's like the main theme for me of the festival that I got out of it. I feel way more authentic now.
Yeah.
And there were all these different workshops and different points where that was the message. Like there was this one point with Nessi Gomes, beautiful, beautiful soul and artist as well. And she was doing a workshop with the voice. And again, I could just feel my voice opening. And I could just feel that there was this blockage all this time. And during the Neo-Tantra, I realized when that blockage came through. And it's beautiful now, because now that I'm explaining it, it's starting to make sense.
Yeah. The dots are connecting. And that's also like the human design thing, that you should experience things first and then connect the dots.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Oh, that was also for me. No, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
But also for me.
Yeah, okay.
But during the Neo-Tantra, it was about releasing anger. And I just decided that this would be my moment, and I would try to not focus on other people and what they would go through, and just focus on myself. And there were all these pillows laid on the ground where you could just lay and just have a little tantrum, or a big tantrum, whatever you needed. And you could like fuck the pillow and just
I was fucking the pillow.
I started with that.
So that there were like 5 exercises, and I didn't really feel like they didn't speak to me, so I thought, I'll just fuck the pillow then.
Yeah. So I started with that one, and then I went to the tantrum, and during the tantrum I was just screaming and just really having a tantrum.
Yeah.
And I connected back with the last time I had that. Yeah. And that's when I was just a little child, and I was screaming and throwing my little plastic chair to the door, and just being in so much rage. And I remember that my parents wouldn't come to me because they thought, come back when you're okay and when you can talk normally.
Yeah.
And although they did that with the best intentions and with so much love, for me, I felt alone in that, and I felt like I wouldn't get the love and acceptance that I needed if I would act that way. So from that moment on, I subconsciously chose to not do that anymore, to not let that part of myself out, and to suppress my voice, to suppress my emotions. And there was this other practice where you would lay your hands on your voice and scream and then release it and still keep screaming. And that really helped me to, like, I realized how much I've been repressing my voice. Because when I would open, like, if you scream like this, it's okay, you don't hear it that much. But once you open your hands, then suddenly all this voice comes out, all this noise. And it's so loud. And I felt myself like, when I would open my hands. And I started to scream through that and just keep going. And I started to cry, and just literally still, as I'm talking about it, feels like this energy is just opening up.
You're opening your own boundary. You're extending your boundary. Like at first it's like screaming inside your head. And then it's screaming with a hand on your mouth. And then it's fucking full belly out, like screaming. And you're just going through the whole spectrum. And that's healing. So after that, I also sat down and just closed my eyes and started crying and letting it move through me. But the expression just kept coming back. And now yesterday as well, where we kind of recorded a little bit, and I just started talking from my heart, and I was flowing, and I felt this opening again, because it can finally flow through my voice. So that's a big thing. And you're doing it right now?
And I'm doing it right now.
So nice.
And also just with the aesthetic dancing, like, I've never expressed myself so fully with so many people just during dancing.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Everyone was just doing their thing and going to the ground. Some were laying down, some were sitting, some were jumping, some were like, ah! Like everyone was just having fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really beautiful.
It's such an environment that gives you permission to express anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also met this beautiful soul, Irene.
Mm.
Hi, Irene, if
Hi,
you're watching
Irene.
once again. And she just felt really safe to me.
Yeah.
And
She was a perfect reflection mirror of you.
yeah, there were so many things that were the same. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
You even had the same sunglasses.
Yeah. And there was this moment after the women's cycle as well, which I have on my vision board.
Yeah.
Like after we got back, I started looking at my vision board, and there were so many things that happened in the last 2 weeks that are on my vision board.
Yeah.
Almost like exactly, like spot on. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And one of those things is a woman that's crying and another woman holding her. And after the ceremony, after the women's ceremony, the last song was just kind of celebrating. And in that moment, I just felt so much love for women and just, women. And I also, like, a lot of emotions came up during the oracle stuff. Like, so I was just crying, and Irene saw me, and she came to me, and she just hugged me, and I was crying in her arms and just letting it move through me. And I didn't know that woman before I came to Agape. Yet I was able to be so vulnerable with her and just be held by her. That also made such an impact on me and my heart.
Can connect with people like this.
Yeah. Like the amount of people I've eye gazed with and hugged for like 5 or 10 minutes and don't even know their name is incredible.
It's so crazy. Like we're always like, I don't like small talk. Well, this is the fucking opposite of small talk. It's like, let's just stare into the deepest parts of ourselves when we've met for 3 seconds, you know?
Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I really feel like also in this moment we're just healing, like through like re-experiencing the festival.
Yeah.
It's really good to just talk it through.
Yeah, that's why we did this. Why we wanted to talk it through.
Yeah.
And for you, it was kind of crazy, like with the Neo Tantra, when everyone's just screaming and fucking pillows. You felt the urge to sit down and to hold space.
Yeah. Like everything is masculine and feminine energy. So I think they just had 2 little people to hold space at that moment. Like Tantra, right? Tantra is like expression is going through the roof, you know, and sometimes there are people needed to just embody the other side, like watching and holding space for all of the expression.
Yeah.
And I just at first I was fucking a pillow, and then I just felt called to just sit down and just hold space for everybody. Just it's okay, do it. It's okay. And just watching everybody and just enjoying the chaos in the moment. It was so nice to be very still and like everything going crazy around you. I feel like that's also an embodiment of the universe, right? There's so much happening and the universe has all the space you need to just fucking scream your expression. And that expression is planets, supernovas, fucking every star in the galaxy. That's all of the expression, and there's such lush space around it.
Yeah.
And then you just become the human embodiment for that principle.
Yeah.
Balance, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I also think it was just not only because the space needed it. I think it was also for you.
Yeah, to learn, hold more space.
Yeah. Because during the festival, you really stepped into your masculine energy.
Yeah.
Also, when we weren't at the festival grounds.
Yeah.
Like, there was this one moment where I helped facilitate a breathwork session.
Yeah.
With a bunch of people, and we will go into your experience because you also had a beautiful experience with that.
It was super nice.
But afterwards, I just felt that I took on a lot of energy from a lot of people because it was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we went to the pool, and I just felt so exhausted and tired, and we also hadn't slept well for like a week already.
Yeah.
Well, every time we had like sleep, we were sleep deprived.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. And as I jumped into the water, it felt so good to jump into the water and just help the water release all this energy. But then you just literally held me.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
And that helped me so much. And you just intuitively kind of did that.
Yeah.
And I was able to fully relax my body in the water and in your arms.
Yeah.
So that I could just let it all go for a moment.
Yeah.
And that's something that was so masculine of yours, which before the festival, I don't think you would have been attuned to do that. But now you were.
Yeah, you were just like floating on the surface of the water, and I just held my hands underneath you, and so you could just fully relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, those are little moments where your masculine really shined through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we've like experienced in the water, like in the last day that we were here, that I like when like messages from source, they don't reach me in like a voice way. They reach me from my lower defined centers. And tell the story about when we were in the water.
Well, for me, the messages do come through with thoughts or knowings. And
Yeah.
the first time I actually really learned to listen to that was with ayahuasca. And I, for the first time, actually distinguished what a voice from outside sounds like and feels like.
Yeah.
And what my thoughts feel like. So since then, I've been experiencing that with Father Fire, and this time with Spirit, but this time with the sea.
Yeah.
And I started connecting with her and talking with her and just thanking her. And she said to me, like, just play, just have fun, just play. And not 2 seconds later, Max started jumping and doing crazy things in the water, and just having fun. And then I realized, like, oh, Max just like does pick up on these things. It's just not with thoughts.
Yeah.
You just intuitively feel the calling to do something.
Yeah, just
like,
do it.
Huh, let's just go here, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe I should do this. And you just do it. But that's spirit communicating with you.
I get an urge to do stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't even translate like, oh, I would like to do this. No, it's just,
No,
I get an urge to do it and I do it.
Yeah, your body just does it.
Yeah, my body does it.
Yeah, and for me,
And I'm just enjoying.
I get it through my thoughts and through my head, visions.
Yeah.
And also knowings and just a feeling, but yeah, feeling also a lot.
Yeah.
But for you, it's just an urge, a gut feeling to just want to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because
yeah,
you have the top of the human design chart, the centers you have defined. And I have a lot of lower stuff, lower centers defined. And we tested the theory with one other person, but I think it's really interesting that correlates for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Let's hear about the experience with breathwork.
Okay, yeah. So there was a breathwork ceremony, and it was like really simple. It was basically just breathe how you'd like for 70 minutes long. So I was like, okay, well, I don't have to push myself into anything because I have like also a gift in the human design that I also always want to improve stuff. And I have a tremendous amount of energy, but like the improving stuff that really makes me vulnerable of always wanting more. And with all the spiritual experiences and also when meditating, I just want to go deeper. I want to do things and then with more intensity because it will be better. And that's such an assumption. And
More is always better. That's the assumption.
more is always better. It's like improve, more, bigger, better, faster, stronger. And like when I heard it was 70 minutes long, I was like, okay, I don't need to push myself to just get a great experience before it ends. You know, it was just like, you got enough time. If anything, it will be boring. So if you have a peak like in 5 minutes, it will be like. So I just went through it, not pushing anything, and it was so healing for me to just know I have enough time. I'm gonna be here for 70 minutes, so just do what they say. And there came a time where I felt like I just wanted to hold my breath, and then was like 5 seconds or something, or 10 seconds, and I was like in oneness, and it was really beautiful, and it was just such a weird experience to have not on psychedelics. We've been having the doses for psychedelics. We are trying to reduce until we get the moment where we
Don't need it anymore.
And I feel like this was one of the moments that I didn't need it. And is improvement in this case less? Probably is. Like with the doses, you know, like from going a high dose, it's not always better. It's not always more. It's less.
It's fun
less
that you
is
say
more.
that, but because the guy that channels with TikTok,
Yeah,
I don't know his name,
Daryl Bashar.
Yeah, I saw a video of him like today or yesterday, where someone asked about plant medicines.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And he said that plant medicines are here to teach us that there are different states of reality and how to be okay with those states and how to work with those states. So we can actually learn to do it without the psychedelics, without the plant medicine.
Well, this is so perfect.
Yeah, because, and that's also like our theory is the more you are stuck in your ego, the higher the dose you need. And please don't. I'm stuck in my ego, so I go really high. Yeah. Please be careful.
If you're stuck in your ego, maybe you would like if you're really stuck at that moment, you probably shouldn't take psychedelics.
Yeah, like, please be careful.
Yeah.
But the more aware you get and the more present you get, the less you need. Yeah. So we already came with the biggest flex is needing just a little tiny bit of psychedelics and just having like a blasting time.
Yeah.
But that's actually truth.
Yeah.
Because at some point he also said like you don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And if you then keep taking it, even though you don't need it anymore, then you're actually creating more suffering and the accelerating your progress. But if
because you get the feeling that you need it in order to feel that way, right? And you get attached.
Exactly. And when you don't.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of the plant medicine itself, is to let you see that you don't need it, that you can do it in a natural state.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful that you, for the first time, actually truly experience oneness through breathwork, a natural state.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also like with weed, when we got back, we smoked a little weed.
A little
Little weed.
The
And
Ouid.
and I feel such a different energy with it. Like
Yeah.
it's way more intense. It feels, yesterday it felt like we were just tripping, like
Yeah.
literally.
Crazy.
Like visuals and just insights, and my crown just was activated as hell.
Could be the sleep deprivation, guys.
It definitely was part of it, definitely. But I really tapped into the medicine of weed and the sacredness.
Yeah.
And she also showed you the lesson that she's been trying to show you for
like
years now.
6 years already.
Maybe
Like there
you
was
can-
such a dormant fear that I really printed into my head that I needed fear to stay safe, right? And there was always this dormant fear underneath me that it was just always tangling my belly. And the first time I disconnected from that was the first time I felt the oneness with the thingy, with the LSD.
Mhm.
And now I was just having a little weed, and it showed me that I could let go. I could let go of all the fear. And like the weed always tried to bring up that lesson that, hey Max, there is some fear laying around here. There's still some fear here, because it just brings out this experience. It heightens your ability to experience emotions, blah blah.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't create anything for
Yeah.
people that say like, oh, I get anxiety from weed.
yeah,
No, that anxiety is already within.
yeah.
It doesn't create anything. It
Took
just
me fucking 6 years to acknowledge that it's not about the weed.
Yeah. But that's because you couldn't see it.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
it
also
was hidden.
with the like, because that's a key point that we also came or that came through yesterday, was with the assumption that you made about love, that love must be hard.
Yeah, you could explain that better.
Yeah, you made somewhere along the lines, you made the assumption love must be hard, and it's within our culture, like it's too good to be true, or in Dutch there is an adertje onder het gras.
Yeah,
There are all these assumptions that
if things go well, it should be also be hard.
exactly.
It's like fucking, you need discipline to succeed in this world. You need discipline. Discipline is everything. Life is suffering. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Like you can't get away from suffering.
everything worthwhile takes hard work.
Yeah. Things worthwhile should be hard.
Yeah. So
Otherwise they wouldn't be worthwhile.
exactly.
What
Yeah.
the fuck are you saying? You know?
But
Oh
those
my
assumptions were ingrained in your body and in your
God.
mind.
Yeah.
And that's normal because it's in our culture.
You should do things you don't want to do to get ahead. You
Yeah.
know? To get ahead. You need to get ahead.
When that's
This
when,
fucking rat race.
yeah.
Jesus.
And that's not even true.
Yeah.
And that assumption just held you back. Because
yeah.
of that assumption, you created fear for yourself.
I needed my fear. Otherwise it wouldn't be hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you
But-
decided to create fear to make it hard for yourself.
Yeah.
And that making it hard only made the assumption even stronger, because you say like, see, love is
Yeah.
hard.
Life is hard. You can get it without feeling like shit.
Yeah. So you started to go into
I'm
this
getting
cycle.
closer. I'm getting closer, but I still feel like shit. So I must be doing something worthwhile.
So twisted.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yesterday you
Yes, I'm on the right path. I'm on the right path. I feel like shit. This is it. Continue. I'm sorry.
So yesterday you realized that that's not true.
Yeah.
You started to trust love, trust yourself, trust that excitement is actually exactly the thing that the world needs.
Yeah.
Because you also you have this inner drive to serve the world
Yeah.
and to give the world what it needs. And you're like, give the hard stuff to me.
Yeah.
With the assumption that love is hard.
Yeah.
Like, give the hard stuff to me. I'll carry it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
If that's what the world needs, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But now you realize, like, oh, but wait a second. It doesn't have to be that way.
The only thing the world needs is for me to live in my highest excitement and to just do things that truly deeply excite me.
Exactly. Because what you're excited about is exactly the thing that the world needs from you.
Yeah.
You're not excited about something the world doesn't need.
Yeah.
And if you can trust that, your
Yeah.
life is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing I realized yesterday. Like, oh my God, I don't need the fear. Oh my God, I don't need the fear. I can live a life without fear. I can live without fear. Fear isn't the one that should lead. The love should lead. Don't be led by fear. And I was led by fear.
Yeah.
I thought I needed fear.
Yeah. It's like doing a beautiful dance,
Yeah.
but you're the one leading, not the
Yeah.
fear.
The love leading.
Yeah. So you made the decision to
Yeah. Oh my God.
Only
it was
choose for
really
excitement.
Scary. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could continue if you want to tell.
Oh,
I
yeah.
made the decision.
You made the decision to just go for your excitement,
Yeah.
and you already made actionable steps from that, or you already took action on that by
Yeah.
canceling a appointment you had actually today,
Yeah.
and you're going to talk with your work and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
because you're
Was
just gonna
like-
follow your excitement.
Was clear. Like, if I'm not feeling like super excited about this next step, I shouldn't do it. And like, no compromise. You don't need to just fucking drag yourself through all this shit to get to a better place. No, the only thing you need to get to a better place is just to refuse doing stuff you don't like. And it's so contra to all the content I've seen. Like, you should have discipline. Discipline is everything. Doing hard things. It's like fucking on my bathroom mirror. Doing hard things. Yeah. It shouldn't be hard. That was such a relief. I can live a life I love. That was like the fucking... You want to fucking scream it off the rooftops. Like, I can live a life I love. Oh my God. It's possible.
Yeah. But people don't trust it. And that's because of all the subconscious programming. Like, if someone would tell you, there's a life possible where you only have to feel excited, have to follow your joy, have to follow love, have to follow your freedom.
And that's actually this life.
Yeah, but if someone would say that to you, you would feel like, nah, you're lying. Stop fucking lying.
Stop. Why you always lying? Stop fucking lying.
When in actuality, it's truth. It's in this
Yeah.
life.
But it's but also like with the working before this festival, it actually gave us a window. It gave us
Yeah.
a shot in real life, because like it's fucking easy to say like, yeah, choose to refuse things that fucking
Easy
makes
to
you
say,
sad.
hard
It's easy-
execution.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
hard, very
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, like the money I've made gave us a shot for like 6-8 months maybe. And we're going all in.
Yeah. And that's also like the fact that we're sitting here right now discussing this, and how we are already way more active on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like we can feel that
this is the way
festival has shifted the energy.
Yeah.
And it has given us a way and also clarity on how we want to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to figure it all out. Like how do we, what is the format? And
I've been searching for a format for way too fucking long, man.
Yeah. Like what truly feels authentic and works for us.
Yeah.
And we were looking back at our videos and photos of the festival, and then we realized like this is it.
It just hit.
This is it.
Yeah.
And we got an idea and a vision of how we want to do this and how you want to do this.
Yeah.
And it just all is starting to make sense. And
just don't do stuff that fucking drains you. That's step one. Then just film your life, because that's like the easiest and most fun thing to do, right?
Yeah, but it's also just for us. Like, it's fun to see yourself back in time and just realize how far you've come and the things you've been through and the beautiful moments and the hard moments. And so it's also just for us, but it's also fun to share that with other people, because the lessons we learn and the things we go through can be very, very helpful for other people. So
someone might be just behind on the spiritual journey, or there is no like behind and like front or back, but someone might be going through what we're going today in like a day or a week or a month or a fucking year. And then they just can watch how we handled and navigated that, and just like take the fucking shortcuts.
Yeah.
Until they just woods by when we're 80. Exactly. You know? Yeah. And when I'm 70, I will just type, make or edit, or AI for me will edit a highlight reel of all like the messages, just like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. Like in 70 years, or when I'm 70, AI is just gonna like pick the lessons that you need at this second in your journey, just personalized, like a library with VR you can walk through. Okay, this is the next step you need to take. Oh, this is the next step you need to take, and then you need to take
your
this
own
step.
little guru, but then an AI.
Yeah, your AI guru.
I'm the AI guru.
Oh my God, I'm an AI guru. He just knows me and knows what step I need to take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I get excited from that, so yeah. Maybe.
So yeah.
Oh, I think we just got to an ending, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it. Thanks, guys, for listening to our podcast, and we hope you have a very nice day, a blessed week ahead. And my name is Max.
My name is Felicia.
And this was the Love Liberation Podcast.
Hope to see you in the next one.
Let's go.
Bye-bye.